Everything is good about the morning from the nation's capital and from NTA Channel 5 Abuja. We welcome you to today's edition of the program. Yes, I'm home alone, but not to worry. I promise you it's going to be a jolly good ride as we have a different segment lined up for your viewing pleasure. If you've just joined us, the program is still Good Morning Abuja, showing on the Unity Station, NTA Channel 5. The joy that comes with lending a helping hand to the needy can never be overemphasized. And the guest I have with me on site this morning is into humanitarian services. And I have with me this morning Ambassador Success Igbohosa. He is an advocate of peace. Ambassador, you're welcome on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Before we start, I want to tell you a little about my guest. Ambassador is the founder of 360 Cal Initiative, an organization focused on eradicating illiteracy and promoting quality health care. He also co-founded another non-profit governmental organization called Voice of Orphans Africa and Diaspora Initiative. He's also a mentor. Wow, this is all encompassing. How do you get all of this together to carry out your work successfully?
Well, the most important thing is the team you have on ground.
Okay.
You know, when you have been able to build a team and you have sown the vision into them, whether you are there or you are not there, the work must still go on.
Okay.
So your presence is actually a motivation to them. And so, but then, we do our best to try to arrange all our activities in a way that they are not clashing.
Okay, let's now narrow our discussion to what you do, humanitarian services. Now you're going to tell us about CAL Initiative. What is your mandate? What do you do there?
CAL Initiative was it's an initiative that came 2 years ago while I was on this social investment program with federal government they call Empower. And I've always had this yearning, this burning that education is the bedrock of any society and is the best gift a father can give to a child. So when I walked into the school and I was assigned to a GSS3 class, that's examination class, I realized that about 33% of the children could not read and write. So I was marveled, I was wowed at that level, preparing for a final exam. So I said, okay, we have to step in because the CAL Initiative is actually to eradicate illiteracy and promote quality education. And you know, a lot of people look at dropout. So it's education. If you cannot give a child a proper education, when the child is out of school, it will look as if he or she has not gone through the 4 walls of the school. So we came in with our team, we did psychoanalysis, we did a lot of findings, and we realized that some couldn't read because they have sight issues. And so that's how CAL Initiative came about, the health intervention program. And so we are specializing in eye screening and treatment because it's one of the factors that is militating against those kids who cannot read and write because they have sight issues. Now, another aspect is slow learners. And the teachers are not patient with them to understand that these guys are slow learners and I need to take them from the cradle. So we come in after school hour, we engage them for 1 hour, 30 minutes every Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So since then, we've been making a huge progress. We've made a huge progress because as I speak, we've been able to graduate about 160 children who can now read and write perfectly well. And they are doing well in their various schools now, in the SS3, SS1, some are in SS1 now, some are in SS2, and some are presently in SS3.
Can you tell us more of strategies you have on ground to ensure we eliminate illiteracy, if not bring it down to the barest minimum? Yeah.
Yeah, we have a team of volunteer teachers.
Okay.
Who we assign to schools.
Okay.
And we've been in some schools in the FCT, most especially we actually started from GSS 11.
Okay.
And this session that is coming up, we tend to move into about 3 schools that has to do with the availability of the teachers who has to volunteer for the program. So once we move, we do our findings on the kids and then identify the kids who cannot read and write and then put them in that setting class
Okay.
to teach them and groom them for a period of 3 months for them to be able to read and write.
Okay, where are the areas you have covered so far? Are you thinking of going into the remote areas, the rural?
Yeah, one of the long-term strategic plan that we have is to go into the rural area.
Okay.
But what we want to do, presently I'm talking with some organizations in the UK because I did my Mandela My Leadership Fellowship in the UK. So I've been able to broker some partnership in a way that they can come in and assist us. So presently we are applying for a mobile projector and a tab, right? A tab that we can give to our volunteer teachers to go into different communities. We gather the kids who cannot read and write. Then we place the volunteer there for like 6 months. So after 6 months, we will go back and do what we call review to know how many of the kids have been able to learn how to read and write. So when we ascertain 90% of that, we pull out the volunteer from that place and we move to another community.
Okay, in your journey to help eradicate the illiteracy amongst us in the society, you came across one problem that you mentioned, that is giving quality health care. How do you intend marrying the two, and what have you done so far about it?
Okay, well, I'm an advocate also of partnership for the goals 17. In fact, most of my projects are on partnership. I collaborate with organizations. What I do, I look at organizations who have shared values, shared interests, opinions, and then I call them. Okay, I can say, okay, please, I just did a research on about 250 children, and 40 cannot read and write. And I've also discovered that they cannot see properly. Please, can you partner with us to conduct a screening for them and also to treat them? So majority of the project we've been doing is on partnership. So we have people who are actually really working with us to achieve this.
What is the driving force for all of this? It is not easy.
My driving force actually was ignited when my father died, my biological father. But I have a father, but he's my foster father, but I call him my father because when my father died, I was still very young. I was in GSS. No, is it primary 6? Yes, primary 6. So my uncle, who is my foster father, took care of my education. So you understand, to have a lucky uncle, you have somebody, to be lucky to have somebody like that will, invest in your education. So I realized that for him to sacrifice his comfort to ensure that my siblings get the needed education, then I should replicate it. And so I now hashed that passion to always see that there is a solution to anybody that is facing issues around me. So I'm just like, if I see you having issues, I try to go around to see how we can solve that problem.
I want you to talk to us a little about Voice of Orphans initiative.
Well, VODI is an initiative that started in 2018. And actually, what we wanted to just do was to restrict it to a radio program where we just advocate for the inclusion of orphans and vulnerable children. Then where we cry out to people to go and give them food, give them clothing, support their education. But we realized that as at the time we started doing orphanage monthly visitations, we realized that it's not food. That is really problem. Yes, the food aspect is there, feeding, but there is issue of health care. They don't have proper health care because the people taking care of those kids are not buoyant enough to really take responsibility for that. So what we did was to also, host the first Orphans Carnival in this Abuja. We did that at the National Stadium where we gather about over 1,000 orphans just to bring them together, and then we showcase their skills, and then on that spot we were able to give about 6 to 7 scholarships on the spot, and So from there, the idea became very strong that, okay, we can actually reach out to partners to give us money to, put into their education, put into their food, create that awareness for people to know that these guys are going through here. Give them food, because your penny can really save a child. Because we saw a lot of things on the feed, and some people that followed us, they will get to the home, they will be crying. Because when you see the food, have you seen a child eating a food? You have rice, right? But there's no stew, it's just red. You are using oil. It goes a long way to tell you that there's no money in this place. They don't have money to feed. They are just eating what they see. And so they are not even thinking of the future, of what the future holds for them. So we came in to give them hope, to inspire the kids that they have hope, and this is what they can do.
Well, at this point, I want to say you are doing well. And it takes someone that has passion for something to be able to embark on all of this. And at this point, I want to ask, with all of this you've been able to do, I know you have faced a lot of challenges here and there. Can you share with us a little?
Well, a challenge that will not kill a man, it makes the man stronger. Yes. And I want to really, I don't like sharing problems because I want to appreciate my team members. It has not been easy. Finance have been the major constraint because there are things we want to do and there are no finance. And the rigorous process of applying for a grant is also there. And then mobilizing your team for logistics, for them to go to those places and all that is also there. And it takes someone who is passionate to actually join us in that movement. So I see it as a movement that the future is bright. So the challenges I'm facing now cannot deter me. The challenges always make me to think out of the box and see, okay, who is the partner that is sharing the same vision with us? Does that partner have money? Does that partner have a network? Do you understand? So we harness them. We say, okay, we have a project, please. Let's put heads together and do this. Before you know it, we do all our projects seamlessly. And at the end of the day, maybe it's just some few naira from our own personal purse that will go into the project.
Yes, in as much as you have few people around you that are helping you out, is there any other way you need assistance to be able to do all of this work you are into?
In fact, I want to appeal to more Nigerians that they should give us the needed support financially for us to commit more of the volunteers, teachers to the rural community. We need to acquire a mobile projector and a tab which they can work with, because we need a situation where they are equipped. We pay their rent over there, we pay for their feeding, and there's a budget for it. So if we have people coming into our organization with funding and then helping us to achieve this goal, I bet you in the next 10 years, we will have illiteracy reduced to a very bare minimal level. Because if I have the finance, there are a lot of people who are burning to work with us. But because we don't have the logistics to send them, we have to work with the little we have to cover the space we can cover at the moment. But we're looking forward to good partners from international, parts to give us grants. So I'm trying to see areas that grants opportunities that will be available to us that we can put in, and then we roll this project to the permanent destination.
We believe that people out there, the viewers out there, are hearing, and we know they will, in one way or the other, come to your rescue, because what you are doing is a great task. And we thank you so much for coming on our program, Ambassador Success Ikponwosa. I hope I did not murder the name so well. All right.
Thank you so much. I appreciate NTA Channel 5 and for this great opportunity. Okay. It's an opportunity for me to actually hear out what I feel are the pains I carry concerning these less privileged ones, orphans, vulnerable and indigent children as regard their education. So I'm very pleased and I'm happy and I'm open to any call from the team to always be here to speak to people's conscience, to come and assist us to achieve this.
Thank you so much. Thank you once again. Yes, I have been speaking with Ambassador Success Ikponwosa. peace advocate, and he has told us a lot that he's doing in his organization, and even the appeal he has put across to all of us. And we know in one way or the other, assistance will come on his way and his dream will be achieved. Well, the program has been Good Morning Abuja. Don't go anywhere. We'll go on a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back from the break, and the program is still Good Morning Abuja, and I have another guest with me on set in the studio this morning, in person of Fadila Omonola. Fadila Omonola is an activist, and activists are people who stand publicly to support or fight for justice. And Fadila, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you, ma.
Okay. I want to start by saying, who is an activist?
Okay. I would like to give definition of an activist according to my own. An activist is someone that stands for justice, publicly, privately, whether with some challenges or not. They stand for what is right at any point in time and at anywhere.
Okay.
That is how I would define my own.
Okay. That is leading me to my next question. What makes someone a very strong activist?
Okay. What makes someone a very strong activist is that being an activist, you face so much challenges.
Yes.
But I think what will make you a strong one is you have to overlook them. So when you overlook them, you feel that you won't allow all those things to stop you from getting to your goals. You won't allow all those talks, all those kind of talks, backbiting, all those things to just get to where you are going to focus. So, and also there are a lot of challenges, even me as a woman, trying to stop most of things that are being done to women. There will be like challenges, there will be like some things that she's a woman, what can she do, blah, 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 and all those stuffs. There are stuffs that you have to just overlook, because you have to look at where you are going to and your aim, yes, and what you want to achieve at the end.
Okay. People often, mistaking the two. An advocate, an activist. I want you to, at this point, bring it down and differentiate for us to know who is an advocate and who is an activist.
As I've said earlier, an advocate, they stand for what is right, justice. But what makes an advocate to be different from an activist is that advocates, they only listen. But you see, an activist, they act. They act to the point that they have to make that change that they really want. Okay. While an advocate just listen and hear what you want to say, but activists they have more of importance and they have more of action than the advocates.
As a female activist, what are the areas of feminism you're looking at to make that change happen, and why?
First of all, is girl child education.
Okay.
And secondly, it has to do with the way we African parents accept girl child. Because some women, when during their pregnancy, you see how men will be pressurizing them. You have to give birth to a male child. You have to all those stuffs. And according to biology, we have sex chromosome, which is X and Y. Yes. And if it has to come to sex determination, it's the man that is responsible, because it's what you donate to the woman that she's going to give birth to you. If you give her X chromosome, she'll give you a girl child. If you donate her Y chromosome, then she'll give you a male child. So it's not her fault, and that is what God Almighty have already written. Yes. And what I came to know of is most girl child, they face challenges of some that are orphans. Yes. They don't have people to take them to school, and some they face. Even some people have to go into forced marriages because they don't have any option again. It's just marriage is the last option for them to do, but to survive and to just take care of some of their kids, their younger ones.
This area of feminism, girl child that you are talking about, are you sure that you are so passionate about? Are you sure the change that you want to happen in that aspect will be achieved?
I am sure.
Okay, how?
And I have that hope.
Okay.
Because what I am thinking is that it's just the way we have been like talking like girl child, the way they're supposed to be handled, taken care of, and all those things. I think all these things we have to talk our leaders. Why it's Ministry of Women Affairs. They need to look into this and to help girl child. And most of the various schools, they should go help them, talk to them on moral ethics and the way they should behave, and also talk to our fathers. They should please take care of their girl child, send them to school, and they should take care of their needs. Because some of these girls, when you don't take care of their needs, that's when they'll go out to meet some kind of boys to collect money, and from there, their life is already spoiled. They have to tell them on what to do, on how to handle them, and also they should also teach. They should involve it in the school curriculum on how to stop child abuse, and how they should tell the boys. They should educate them that girls are not only slaves. They are more to kitchen. They are more than could be cooking in the kitchen and doing all those stuffs. They have future. They have things to do, and they have goals to achieve too.
All of us have future, and we all have goals to achieve according to you. And I won't let you go without telling me. You have been into this cause for a while now, and as a female activist, what are those challenges you have encountered? What you're doing is a fight, is a cause. You're fighting for justice, and it's not easy. There are some things that is not well for you in the course of your fight so far. That is what I'm asking. The challenges you have faced so far in fighting the cause of girl child and child abuse.
The challenges is that, one, they would say that you are a woman.
Yes.
And your work, your job is just to stay at home, take care of the kids, and that is all. You are not meant to talk. Your voice is not meant to be heard, because you are not meant to, you should be behind the bar. You should be lagging behind, and which is not supposed to be. Because women also have, they have emotions, they have problems. We need to be heard out. We need to be heard out outside there. People need to also come to our rescue. But if you not come out to stand to talk for your fellow women, but you see challenges, most especially in African minds and their beliefs. They believe that women should be lagging. They are not supposed to be doing anything rather than cooking in the kitchen, giving birth, taking care of them, and that's all. And it's more than that. And it's more than that, because you have to educate that child. Okay, if you are not educated, how will you pass it to your own child?
Thank you very much for coming on our program, Fadila Omonowo. Conclude today's edition of the program Good Morning Abuja, and I thank you so much for giving us your time, and I know you have learned one or two things on the program this morning. Yes, tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is another day. Do well to join in. I remain your host, Deborah Abba Usman. Good morning.